road to wealth has a shortcut. There's a hidden road to wealth and financial freedom, a shortcut of blinding speed where you can achieve wealth and youthful exuberance over elder entropy. Yes, you don't have to settle for mediocrity. You can live rich, retire 4 decades early, and live a life that most can't. Sadly, the shortcut is cleverly camouflaged from your view. Instead of the shortcut, you're led down a paralyzing road to mediocrity. A dulled cornucopia of financial stratagem tailored to the slumbering masses. A legion of mandates that sacrifices your wildest dreams in favor of numbed expectations. That road? It's financial mediocrity known as get rich slow, the slow lane, or wealth in a wheelchair. That tedium sounds like this. Go to school, get good grades, graduate, get a good job, save 10%, invest in the stock market, max out your 401k, slash your credit cards and clip coupons, and then someday, when you are, 65 years old, you will be rich. This dictation is a decree to trade life for life. It's the long way, and no, it isn't scenic. If wealth were an ocean voyage, Get Rich Slow would be sailing around the Horn of South America while the fast laner uses the shortcut, the Panama Canal. The millionaire isn't a static strategy that preaches, go buy real estate, think positively, or start a business, but a complete psychological and mathematical formula that cracks the code to wealth and unlocks the gateway to the shortcut. The plan is a progression of distinctions that gives probability to the unspeakable. Live richly today while young and decades before standard norms of retirement. Yes, you can win a lifetime of freedom and prosperity, and it doesn't matter if you're 18 or 40. What Get Rich Slow does in 50 years, the fast lane shortcut does in 5. Why can't you drive the shortcut? If you're a typical wealth seeker, your approach to wealth can be predictably foretold by a timeless question. What do I have to do to get rich? The quest for the answer, wealth's holy grail, throws you into a mode of pursuit where you chase down a variety of strategies, theories, careers, and schemes that supposedly will bring great wealth into your lap. Invest in real estate, trade currencies, play pro ball. What do I have to do? Screams the wealth seeker. No, please stop. The answer is more about what you've been doing than what you haven't. There's an old proverb that's mutated a few times, but the gist is this. If you want to keep on getting what you're getting, keep on doing what you're doing. The translation? Stop. If you aren't wealthy, stop doing what you're doing. Stop following the conventional wisdom. Stop following the crowd and using the wrong formula. Stop following the roadmap that forsakes dreams and leads to mediocrity. Stop traveling roads with punitive speed limits and endless detours. I call it anti-advice, and much of this follows this prescription. This lists nearly 300 wealth distinctions designed to crack the code to wealth and get you off your current road and onto a new road where you can expose wealth's shortcut. The distinctions are directional markers to stop your old ways of action, thinking, and believing, and reorient you into a new direction. In essence, you have to unlearn what you've learned. Your reality doesn't change mine. This is for the haters. I present with brash cynicism. This contains a lot of tough love, and while it's opinionated, you ultimately have to seek your own truth. It might insult, offend, or challenge you because it will violate everything you've been taught. It will contradict the teachings of your parents, your teachers, and financial planners. And since I violate all that society represents, you can bet mediocre minds will take issue. Thankfully, your belief or disbelief strategy doesn't change my reality. It only changes yours. Let me repeat that. What you think of the doesn't change my reality. Its purpose is to change yours. So let me tell you about my reality. I live happily in a big house overlooking the mountains and beautiful. There are rooms in my house that I don't visit for weeks. Yes, the home is way too large, and that story is a horrifying epic best forgotten. I can't remember the last time I awakened to an alarm clock. Every day is a Saturday. I have no job and no boss. I don't own a suit or a tie. My cholesterol level confirms that I dine at Italian restaurants way too often. As of this edition, I drive a Toyota Tacoma for work meaning going to the gym and grocery shopping, and a Lamborghini Murcielago Roadster for play. I almost lost my life street racing a 750 horsepower Viper laced with nitrous oxide. I shop at Costco, Kohl's, and Walmart if I'm in the neighborhood and it's past 12 a.m. No, I don't drive the Lamborghini to Walmart. That might cause a disruption in the space-time continuum. Trekkies know better. I enjoy tennis, golf, biking, swimming, hiking, softball, poker, pool, art, travel, and of course, writing. I travel whenever and wherever I want. Other than my mortgage, I have no debt. You can't buy me gifts because I have everything I want. Prices for most things are inconsequential because if I want it, I just go buy it. I made my first million when I was 31. 5 years earlier, I was living with my mother. I retired when I was 37. Every month, I earn thousands of dollars in interest and appreciation on investments working around the globe. No matter what I do on any given day, one thing is sure. I get paid and I do not have to work. I have financial freedom because I cracked wealth's code and escaped financial mediocrity. I'm a normal guy living an abnormal life. It's a fantasy land, but my reality, my normal, my deviation from ordinary, where I can pursue my most implausible dreams in a life free of financial encumbrances. Had I chosen the preordained road, get rich slow, my dreams would be on life support, likely replaced with an alarm clock and a heavy morning commute. How about your dreams? Do they need resuscitation? Is your life on a road that converges with a dream, or is one? If your dreams have lost probability, it's possible Get Rich Slow has killed them. Get Rich Slow criminally asks you to barter your freedom for freedom. It's an insane trade and a dream destroyer. Alternatively, if you travel the right roads and leverage the right roadmap, you can resurrect your dreams to possibility. Yes, as a traveler, you can create wealth fast, screw Get Rich Slow, and win a lifetime of prosperity, freedom, and dream fulfillment, just as I did. If this hasn't found you early in life, don't worry. The fast lane doesn't care about your age, your job experience, your race, or your gender. It doesn't care about your F in 8th grade gym class or your beer-drinking reputation in college. It doesn't care about your Ivy League college degree or your Harvard MBA. It doesn't ask you to be a famous athlete, actor, or finalist on American Idol. The f is merciful on your past if you just unlock the gateway into its universe. Finally, at the risk of sounding like a late-night infomercial, let me clarify. I'm not a self-proclaimed guru, nor do I want to be. It's a lifetime school with no graduates. 20 plus years into this, and I humbly admit I have more to learn. Sorry, no 4-hour work week here. First, let's get something clear. This isn't a how-to book. I'm not going to tell you every nuance how I did it because how I did it isn't relevant. This book doesn't contain a list of websites that outline ways to outsource your life. Success is a journey, and it can't be outsourced to India in a 4-hour work week. Plane is like a yellow brick road paved in psychology and mathematics that puts the odds of massive wealth in your favor. During my plain journey of discovery, I always sought the absolute infallible formula that would lead to wealth. What I found instead was ambiguity and subjective imperatives like be determined, or persistence pays, or it's not what you know but who. Why these tidbits compiled part of the formula, they didn't guarantee wealth. A workable formula uses mathematical constructs and not ambiguous statements. Does wealth have a mathematical formula, a code that you can exploit to tilt the odds in your favor? Yes, it does. Now for the bad news. Many wealth seekers have false expectations about money books and think that some fairy guru will do the work. The road to wealth has no escort, and it's always under construction. No one drops millions on your lap. The road is yours to travel and yours alone. I can open the door, but I can't make you walk through it. All I can be is that creepy munchkin pointing off in the distance with a stern directive. Follow the yellow brick road. I've approached this book conversationally as if you're my new friend and we're having coffee in a quaint neighborhood cafe. That means my intent is to educate you, not to upsell you into some expensive seminar, membership website, or some back-end marketing funnel. While I interact with you as if you're my new friend, Let's face it, I don't have a clue who you are. I don't have intimate details about your past, your age, your biases, your spouse, or your education. Therefore, I need to make some general assumptions to ensure that our conversation seems personal to you. These are my assumptions. You look around your life and think, there's got to be more. You have big dreams, yet you're concerned that the road you're traveling will never converge with those dreams. You're college-bound, college-enrolled, or college-educated. You have a job you don't enjoy or isn't going to make you rich. You have little savings and carry a load of debt. You contribute regularly to a 401k. You see rich people and wonder, how did they do it? You bought a few get-rich-quick books and/or programs. You live in a free, democratic society where education and free choice are standards. Your parents subscribe to the old school. Go to college and get a good job. You don't have any physical talent. Your chances of becoming a professional athlete, singer, entertainer, or actor are zero. You are young and full of enthusiasm about the future, but unsure where to direct it. You're older and have been in the workforce for some time. After all these years, you don't have a lot to show for it and are tired of starting over. You put your heart and soul into a job only to be laid off due to bad economies or cutbacks. You've lost money in the stock market or traditional investments championed by mainstream financial gurus. If some of these assumptions reflect your situation, this should have an impact. Don't ignore these. They're the building blocks to engineering your fast lane. Additionally, the stories and examples in this book come from the Fastlane forum and other personal finance forums. While the stories are real and come from real people with real problems, I've changed the names and edited the dialogue for clarity. It took me years to uncover and assemble the strategies, learn them, use them, and ultimately make millions. Bored, retired, and yes, still young with hair, I give you the millionaire, crack the code to wealth, and live rich for a lifetime. Fasten your seatbelts, grab a $10 latte, and let's go on a road trip. The Lamborghini prophecy completes. That creating wealth need not take 50 years of financial mediocrity devoured by decades of work, decades of saving, decades of mindless frugality, and decades of 8% stock market returns. The Lamborghini icon represents a fulfillment of a prophecy in my life. It innocently started when I saw my first Lamborghini, and it kicked my ass out of my comfort zone. I confronted its owner and asked a simple question. How could you afford such an awesome car? The answer I received, unveiled in Chapter 2, was short and powerful, but I wish I had more. I wish that man had taken a minute, an hour, a day, or a week to talk to me. I wish that young stranger would have mentored me on how to get what I thought the Lamborghini represented, wealth. I wish that man would have reached into his car and given me a book. Fast forward to today. As I endangered the streets in my Lamborghini, I relived that same moment except in role reversal. To celebrate my fast lane success, I bought one of these legendary beasts, a Lamborghini Diablo. If you never had the opportunity to drive a car that costs more than most people's homes, let me tell you how it works. You can't be shy. People chase you in traffic. They tailgate you, they rubberneck, they cause accidents. Getting gas is an event. People will snap photos, enraged environmentalists will give you the evil eye, and haters will insinuate about the length of your penis, as if owning a Hyundai implies being well endowed. But mostly, people ask questions. The most frequent questions come from leering and inquisitive teenagers, much as I was years ago. Wow, how could you afford one of these? Or, what do you do? People associate a Lamborghini with wealth, and while that's an illusion more than anything, any dimwit could finance a Lamborghini, it's indicative of a dream lifestyle that most people conceive as incomprehensible. Now when I hear that same question I asked decades ago, I have the power and perhaps to gift a dream. Normal is not something to aspire to. It's something to get away from. Jodie Foster. The MTV Cribs episode that never happened. Host. Today we visit 22-year-old Big Daddy Who in his 8,000 square foot crib here on the beautiful Atlantic coastline, live from sunny Palm Beach, Florida. So Big Daddy Who, tell us about your rides. Big Daddy Who. Yo dog, we got the Ferrari F430 over there with the 22-inch rims. Got the sick Lamborghini Gallardo over there with the custom 10-speaker stereo. And for those nights I just want to chillax with the ladies, the Rolls-Royce Arnage does my due. Host: So Big Daddy Who, how could you afford all these gorgeous rides? And this mansion on the beach? It must have all cost more than $20 million. Big Daddy Who: Yo, let me tell you, dog. Big Daddy Who got rich chilling in mutual funds and popping fat money in my 401k down at my Wingo wireless job. Suddenly, you hear a record screech off the turntable. Absolute silence. As you can imagine, this scenario would never happen. Big Daddy's answer is preposterous and laughable. We're smart enough to know that wealthy 22-year-old kids don't get rich investing in mutual funds and stashing money in their 401ks from their job down at the cell phone store. We know that people who get rich young fall into a unique subset of society: pro athletes, rappers, actors, entertainers, and famous people. Those of us outside this demography are left with the traditional advice showered upon us by financial experts. That's called get rich slow, and it sounds a little something like this. Go to school, get good grades, graduate, get a good job, invest in the stock market, max out your 401k, cut up your credit cards, and clip coupons. And then someday, when you are, 65 years old or so, you will be rich. Get rich slow is a losing game. If you want to get rich and get rich slow is your strategy, I have bad news. It's a losing game with your time wagered as the gamble. Do you seriously think that the guy who lives in a palatial beach estate with the $500,000 supercar in the driveway got rich because he invested in mutual funds or clipped coupons from the local super saver? Of course we don't. So why do we give credence to this advice as a legitimate road that leads to wealth and financial freedom? Show me a 22-year-old who got rich investing in mutual funds. Show me the man who earned millions in 3 years by maximizing his 401k. Show me the young 20-something who got rich clipping coupons. Where are these people? They simply don't exist. They're fairy tales of impossibility. And yet, we continue to trust this same old tired gang of financial media darlings who espouse these doctrines to wealth. Yes, sir, get a job, work 50 years, save, live mindlessly frugal, invest in the stock market, and soon your day of freedom will arrive at age 70. And if the stock market is kind and you're lucky, 60. Gee, doesn't this wealth in a wheelchair financial plan sound exciting? In today's tumultuous financial climate, I'm shocked people still believe these strategies even work. Wasn't it the recession that exposed get rich slow for the fraud it is? Oh, I get it. If you're employed for 40 years and avoid 40% market downturns, get rich slow works. Just sit back, work, and hope death don't meet you first, because golly gee, you're going to be the richest guy in the retirement home. The message of get rich slow is clear. Sacrifice your today, your dreams, and your life for a plan that pays dividends after most of your life has evaporated. Let me be blunt. If your road to wealth devours your adult active life and it is not guaranteed, that road sucks. A road to wealth codependent on Wall Street and anchored by time, with your life wagered as a gamble, is a dirty, rotten alley. Nonetheless, the preordained plan continues to wield power, recommended and enforced by a legion of hypocritical financial experts who aren't rich by their own advice, but by their own millionaire fast lane. The slow lane prognosticators know something they aren't telling you. What they teach doesn't work, but selling it does. Wealth young, is it bullshit? Isn't about being retired old with millions, but about redefining wealth to include youth, fun, freedom, and prosperity. Is it bullshit, to live the dream and be young and live the life, to own the exotic cars, to own the dream house, to have the free time to travel and pursue your dreams? Can you really get free of the rat race young? I'm a 23-year-old investment banker in Chicago, Illinois. I make a modest salary and modest commissions, and by most people's standards, I have a good job. Let me tell you, I hate it. I cruise Chicago's downtown, and I see some guys living the life. Guys driving expensive exotic cars, and I think to myself, they're all 50 years old or older with gray hair. One of them once told me, you know, kid, when you can finally afford a toy like this, you're almost too old to enjoy it. The guy was a 52-year-old real estate investor. I remember looking at him and thinking, God, that can't be true. It's gotta be bullshit. It's gotta be. I can verify, it isn't bullshit. You can live the life and still be young. Old age is not a prerequisite to wealth or retirement. However, the real BS is thinking you can do it by the default get-rich-slow construct, at least by the time you hit your 30th birthday. Believing that old age is a precursor to retirement is the real BS. The real BS is allowing get-rich-slow to steal your dreams. Reinvent retirement to include youth. Say retirement, and what do you see? I see a crotchety old man on a porch in a creaky rocking chair. I see pharmacies, doctor's offices, walkers, and unsightly urinary garments. I see nursing homes and overburdened loved ones. I see old and immobile. Heck, I even smell something musty circa 1971. The fact is, people retire in their 60s or 70s. And even at that age, they struggle to make ends meet and have to rely on bankrupted government programs just to survive. Others work well into their golden years just to maintain their lifestyle. Some never make it and work until death. So how does this happen? Simple. Get Rich Slow takes a lifetime to travel, and its success is nefariously dependent on too many factors you cannot control. Invest 50 years into a job and miserly living, and then one day you can retire rich along your wheelchair and prescription pillbox. How uninspiring. Yet millions undertake the 50-year gamble, and those who succeed receive the reward of financial freedom with a stinking lump of turd. Old age. Gee, thanks, but don't worry, patronization reigns from the heavens. These are the golden years. Who are they kidding? Golden to whom? If the journey devours 50 years of your life, is it worth it? A 50-year road to wealth isn't compelling, and because of it, few succeed, and those who do settle for financial freedom in life's twilight. The problem with accepted norms of retirement is what you do not see. You don't see youth, you don't see fun, and you don't see the realization of dreams. The golden years aren't golden at all, but a waiting room for death. If you want financial freedom before the Grim Reaper hits the on-deck circle, get rich slow is not the answer. If you want to retire young with health, vibrancy, and hair, you're going to need to ignore society's default get-rich-slow roadmap and the gurus spoon-feeding you the slop in the trough. There is another way. Get Rich Slow demands a long life of gainful employment. Get Rich Slow is a losing game because it is codependent on Wall Street and anchored by your time. The real golden years of life are when you're young, sentient, and vibrant.
Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe to our channel.